Hello, I'm Sheriff Myron Freeman.
And I'm Tina Douglas, and this is the
Fulton
Enforcer.
I got a visual on the subject. I'm standing by. Gunpoint with subject. I need some backup, please. If you don't have a weapon, what's the purpose? Subject will be a white male.
1228 radio, and 1 code 6. I'm on the 82 to the county jail.
Welcome to the Fulton Enforcer. I'm Sheriff Myron Freeman. Today we have a very special program in store for you. You're going to get an inside view of what we do and how we do it in the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. As the county's top law enforcement officer, I'm charged with much more than just locking up criminals and transporting them to and from the jail. We play a major role in the community too. Later in the program, we'll have a close-up on all of this from some of the leaders in the office who keep our operation running smoothly and efficiently. Also, I have a few words to share with you in our segment we call Freeman's Focus. But first, we begin with a look at what's making news in and around the Sheriff's Office. For that, we turn to Tina Douglas. She's at our Command Center News and Information Desk. Hello, Tina.
All right, Sheriff Freeman, thank you very much. At the top of the rundown today, keeping the peace and hitting the roads in Fulton's newest city. The sheriff is looking for a few good men and women, new security features at the county courthouse, and grooming great young people. But first, our lead story, keeping the peace in Chattahoochee Hill Country. The city of Chattahoochee Hill Country is the newest municipality in Fulton County and has contracted with the sheriff's office to provide safety and security. To that end, the sheriff's office, which has jurisdiction statewide, is currently patrolling the roads and serving as one of the first responders to the small city in South Fulton.
And we want to be sure that the citizens of that city are safe. And at this point, they have not yet been able to form their own police department, hire police officers, if you will, a police chief, things of that nature. Therefore, the sheriff has reached out to the city's officials and advised them that we will perform their service for them, meaning that we will respond as first responders to any crimes that occur in that area. We have also reached out to other agencies that will assist us in major felony situations, accident investigations, major burglaries, things of that nature, to be sure that the citizens of that city get the same kind of protection that other cities around Fulton County get in the likewise.
Sheriff's deputies will continue their patrols until the city has a police department up and running. The Marine Corps slogan has always been looking for a few good men. Well, the sheriff's office is in the recruitment business too, looking for some good men and women. The sheriff's office is now hiring for sworn positions to be filled. Annual starting salaries for detention officers is just above $33,000. Deputy sheriffs can earn more than $36,000.
The way that one becomes a deputy is, of course, filling out an application. We have about a 45-day screening process. And some of the major components that an applicant would have to go through, they would have to submit to a background investigation. They would have to submit to a polygraph test, drug screening. Those are the major components that you would have to comply with. Last year, we were very successful in getting the entry-level salaries of our detention officer position and the sheriff deputy position increased. Last year, we held a huge job fair. We have been very successful with our recruiting strategies. We hired more than 200 people from that job fair, and we still have some vacancies left that we would love to fill with some talented people.
For more information, call the Sheriff's Office today. The number is 404-730-5100. There is good news to report on courthouse safety. Since the March 2005 shootings at the courthouse, deputies have redoubled their efforts to keep the courthouse safe and secure for people who work there and those who visit the complex. Some of the courthouse security improvements include larger, cleaner monitors to watch activity. Inmates are now chained at the waist before being escorted to courtrooms. Video cameras have been installed to monitor activities in the courtrooms and outside at the entrances of the courthouse. An additional entry checkpoint has been activated to screen packages and people entering the courthouse. And all sworn deputies are equipped with bullet-resistant and stab-resistant vests.
The Sheriff's Office is very proud of the improvements and the progress that we've been able to make over almost the last 3 years. We've added new electronic screening equipment at each of the entrances. We've added increased staffing to have perimeter patrols to make sure that people who are not authorized to enter the building are not able to do that. It's important for everyone in the county to be able to feel safe and secure when they come into the courthouse, because all of us have to come here at various points in our lives to do business with the county, to be a witness in a case, to serve as a juror, to file legal documents, purchase property, all sorts of things like that. And it's important that people are confident that they can come and do their business without having to worry about their safety.
And finally today, great young people making great strides, committed to encouraging Fulton County youth to make smart choices. The Sheriff's Office helps groom them to be their best selves by way of the National GREAT program. GREAT stands for Gang Resistance, Education, and Training. Students from North Fulton to South Fulton and in between take part each year in GREAT.
The GREAT program specifically is designed to teach children about anti-gang involvement, teach them how to solve conflict resolution, how to deal with peer pressure, and talk about the consequences of bad decision. It's a 13-week program where we go inside of the school, where school accepts the program, and we teach the program for 13 weeks. And like I said earlier, each week we will talk about different topics. Bullying, conflict resolution, good decision making, peer pressure, and things to that respect.
Now, I don't know about that. Somebody can get killed. Man, ain't nobody gonna get killed.
Gang resistance, education, and training. I think all those words has an important meaning to it. Resisting gangs, education is definitely important. That's something that we definitely want to implement to our students. And train students. We do role plays in schools, in the classroom, to teach them about this different scenario that they can possibly face out there in the streets or wherever. And not only in the streets, in a lot of situations, even in the classrooms. So that's what my purpose, along with several of the officers with the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, would do in these schools, to teach these children, to train these students how to avoid these different type of things in their life and the things that they're facing.
Upon successful completion of the program, students receive award certificates and participate in a graduation ceremony at which Sheriff Freeman administers the program's official oath. Well, that's the news for now. Stay tuned. Up next on the Fulton Enforcer, an exclusive interview with the man that runs the Warrant Services Division of the Sheriff's Office. All that and more coming up on the Fulton Enforcer.
Hello, my name is Carmen Smith, and I'm the Solicitor General of Fulton County. My office prosecutes a lot of cases related to domestic violence. I'm here to tell you about an upcoming domestic violence conference called Enough, which will be held on March 28th and 29th. This conference will bring together advocates, family violence intervention agencies, and the faith community to develop an understanding of domestic violence issues and possible solutions. The Enough conference will be held at Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church, 182 100th Street in Norcross. It starts on Friday at 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. At 7:30 p.m., the Tears in a Bottle show will start. It is a moving musical tribute to the victims of a domestic violence homicide. The Saturday session will be from 8:30 a.m. until 3 p.m. In addition, participants can earn from 7 to 12 CEU credits. To register, go to ticketweb.com and type in Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church. The registration deadline is March 15th. For further information, call 770-475-3789. Come and learn while we have had enough of domestic violence. I hope to see you there.
Go to jail for a gun crime, and your family serves a sentence with you.
You're watching The Fulton Enforcer with Myron Freeman. Welcome back to The Fulton Enforcer. You know, one of the major duties and responsibilities of the sheriff is to serve warrants. Today, we are going to learn a few things about that service, and joining us today to tell us all about it is Captain Ronald Applin, who is the commander of the Warrant Services Division. Captain, thanks for being here, and welcome to the Fulton Enforcer.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us what the Warrant Division does.
The primary responsibility in the Warrant Division is to execute warrants. The title of the division defines itself. We also serve civil process. We execute about 20,000 warrants a year, another 30,000 civil papers we serve each year. We also have other sections. The sex offender unit is responsible for supervising over 1,500 sex offenders who are registered in Fulton County. We have a fugitive unit with an apprehension rate that's very high. About 95% of the people that they look for, they find. We have a SWAT team that responds to high-risk, handles high-risk warrants. We have a crisis negotiation unit, which is basically negotiators. That's what they do.
Sounds like a lot of stuff
There's
going
a lot
on
of
with
stuff
your
going
department.
on. Yes.
You've been with the department for quite a while, and you're telling me, or you've told me, that being in that division is the job that most of the deputies would like to have.
Sure it is. It gives those officers an opportunity to get out onto the street, to actually deal with the public, do some things a little bit different than working in a jail or working in a courtroom.
I know delivering a warrant is pretty tough. It can be pretty dangerous as well. Are there certain types of training that you all have to go through before you even are assigned to that department?
There are several training sessions that we perform, that we conduct for people who are in the warrant division. And you know, when you say it's dangerous, in 2000, we had a deputy, Ricky Kitchen, who was killed in the line of duty executing a warrant. His partner, Algernon English, was injured, severely injured, while executing a warrant. We had a deputy who was serving a divorce paper, who was shot at while he was serving a divorce paper. We've had deputies executing a warrant and it turned into a hostage situation. So yes, it is very dangerous.
Knowing that, how have you improved some of your tactics, I would say, as far as issuing those warrants?
Well, in the office, our GCIC section will pull a criminal history. Based on the charges in the criminal history, we'll assign the warrant to a particular unit. For example, if a person has a history of violence, we'll assign it to the SWAT team, and the SWAT team will handle it.
Okay.
All the other warrants will basically send out to the road, and the deputies will handle those.
Earlier you mentioned the sexual registry. I know that's probably a really difficult job that involves a lot of time. Can people actually call you and find out if somebody is listed there?
Sure they can. They can call the sheriff's office. They can also go online to GBI's website and also the sheriff's office website. And there's a link on both websites that will show who's living in their area if they want to find out.
Do you routinely monitor and make sure that people are living where they say they live?
By law, we have to do that. Yes,
Okay.
we do.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
What about any word of advice you would like to offer as far as those who want to get into your division and the things that they need to know if they are going to be serving warrants?
Well, if they want to get into the division, they have to apply. That's the first thing. You have to apply to the division. A person who's working in the department have to be there at least 2 years. You have to have a clean record, no disciplinary actions within that time period. There will be a field training officer you'll be assigned to once you're assigned to the warrant division, and that's a 6-week program. If you don't qualify through that program, you will not be able to be assigned to the warrant division.
And you say, I was asking you earlier about the warrants. If you can't find a person, you go to their job, you go to the home or the address that you had for them, does that warrant go back into circulation, it's recirculated again, and it comes up when the time comes up after you've served the other warrants?
Well, there are 2 circumstances that I can think of. You go to a location, the person just not at home. So we'll put it back out on the road, and the next shift or one of the other shifts will go out and try and attempt to arrest a person. Another situation would be if the person not even there at all, just doesn't live there, not known to be there, we'll send it back into the office, we'll do a little research on it, and try to find other addresses on the person.
How many people work in your division?
I have 85 people working in the division, both sworn and civilian.
Captain Ron Applin, we appreciate you coming over and joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. There's much more ahead. The Fulton Enforcer continues in a moment. Of the deputies would like to have.
Sure it is. It gives...
Pandemic flu, bird flu. More often, we hear news reports regarding the spread of bird flu to more countries around the world. Fortunately, bird flu has not reached the United States. However, it could in the near future, causing devastating effects. Will you be prepared? Now is the time to make plans. Gather your family together to talk about how you will survive if faced with this disaster, and how you can protect your health now by practicing good hygiene, covering your cough, washing your hands, keeping your distance when sick, eating well, and getting your rest. Be prepared. Get informed. This message is brought to you by the Fulton County Department of Health and Wellness Office of Emergency Preparedness. For more information, log on to www.pandemicflu.gov.
Did you know that in our world, 29,000 kids die each day from preventable causes?
Did you know a child is orphaned by AIDS every 15 seconds?
Every 15 seconds, millions of children.
Millions of children are missing a future.
What if we decided not to accept this anymore?
What if we gave children what they need to survive?
Medicines,
food,
education, and protection.
There is no greater mission than helping children survive.
And there is no organization better able to do something about it than UNICEF.
UNICEF works in over 150 countries.
Saving kids' lives.
We can make a difference.
We can create a better future. Visit unicefusa.org or call 1-800-FOR-UNICEF.
You're watching The Fulton Enforcer with Myron Freeman.
Those who forget history are condemned to repeat it. That's another way of saying make sure you learn from your mistakes. We in the Sheriff's Office believe that every time you have a challenge, it's an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to grow. As we remember history, our hearts go out to all those who lost their lives in the line of duty at the courthouse a few years ago. It was a terrible moment in our history, and we shall never forget the victims and their families. Since that time, I'm pleased to report that the staff at the Fulton County Courthouse have doubled its efforts to ensure that we never live through those circumstances again. We have increased the security at the courthouse through working with all the other agencies. Thanks to the cooperation and support of the County Board of Commissioners, we are renovating our jail, a $55 million investment from the Commission. The citizens appreciate the effort. The Sheriff's Office appreciate the effort. Together, we are working to make Fulton County safer and secure. As we head into spring and warmer temperatures, I know many people will be spending more time out of doors. I'd like to remind each of our citizens to watch out for each other and report any suspicious activity to proper authorities. Our quality of life depends not only on the men and women in uniform, but on civilians too. We call ourselves first responders, but you and your neighbors are the real first line of defense with your eyes and ears. Together, all of us can make the difference. I'm Sheriff Myron Freeman, and that's my focus.
Your neighbors are nice, huh? Chucky's finally got a kid his age to play with.
He seems to have fun playing over there.
Kind of like it, too.
It's nice being alone for a change.
Mm-hmm.
Ask your neighbor, is there a gun where your children play?
McGruff, the crime dog here. We've all heard of identity theft. Now I'm going to show you how those thieves do it. Watch. He's secretly photographing her credit card with his cell phone. Now watch. They pretend they have a package to deliver, and while they're trying to fit it in the mailbox, they're taking her credit card payments and other paid bills. Now watch this one. What you consider garbage, thieves consider gold. Guard all your personal information carefully. Use a secure mailbox and shred your credit card records and bills. To learn how to protect yourself from identity theft, go to weprevent.org. Keep your identity to yourself and help take a bite out of crime. Brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council, the U.S. Department of Justice, and the Crime Prevention Coalition of America.
The internet offers wonderful connections. But who's connecting to you? Your personal information could be an easy target for hackers and thieves. But you can protect yourself. Stop and think before you click. And visit StaySafeOnline.org for ways to keep your information in your hands.
You're watching The Fulton Enforcer with Myron Freeman. That's all the time we have for this edition of The Fulton Enforcer. Well, Sheriff, I hope the people watching, both at home and on the internet, learn something about what you and your team do in the office of the sheriff.
Well, Tina, let's hope so. And we have much more to do.
And of course, if you have any questions or comments, please write us.
The email address is myron.freeman@fultoncountyga.gov, and our phone number is 404-730-5100.
Well, for all the men and women behind the scenes, thanks for watching. I'm Tina Douglas.
And until we meet again, I'm Sheriff Myron Freeman, your Fulton Enforcer.